Dude, yo, it was good. It was good, bro. Dude, I was supposed to be live a lot sooner. I took a nap. I took a nap when I came home, bro. And yeah, it's finally here. The practice stream. I mean, nothing was really that exciting. Practice stream. Um, Update on the video. It's the video's done. Not the video's not done. It's cut up. The video is cut up. But now I gotta edit it. I gotta edit some more. But yeah. But yeah. Nap tech, yeah, did ass. I got a glass of wine. I actually got 2 glasses of wine. I'm an alcoholic. But yeah, we switching it up. What's good, Venus? Your biggest fear was working on some shitty levels. Yeah, everyone here early. It ain't hard where I live. Yeah, chat. We're doing 9 circles. God fucking damn it. That fucking spinning wheel fucked me. My bad. I'm talking to my girl right now. Let's race, shall we? For what, bro? You're the type of person to like stop, like quit. You're a quitter. These lights flashing too bright with light. All right. So yeah, if you guys didn't know, we did a spin a wheel thingy, and I got fucking 9 circles. So yeah, we're gonna practice. Oh, I fucking died. Bruh. Wait, you don't jump there. Bruh, this shit's gonna fucking... This shit gonna fuck me, dog. This part of the level is gonna fuck me. I'm scared. Have you seen my layout? What layout? It's not 2 a.m. You talking about the video or you talking about the level? There's I did your extra long level. If that's what you're asking. I did that one. It was good. But for some reason my PC was acting so weird, so my geometry dash was my frames were dropping. Like I don't know what the fuck was going on. So it wasn't really playing well. But I mean there's certain things where like I don't know if it was because my PC was lagging so bad or it's not that great. I think the first ship part where like it goes to the upside down portal and there's a jump ring on it, I just kept dying there. And I don't know if that's like on purpose or what. I don't know. I'm I'm trying to make a medium demon. Do you think I could get that? Maybe. Maybe. I don't know. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. Because I don't know, I can easily fall as an easy demon. Like there's easy demon XLs. I think one that comes to mind is like Dear Nostalgic. I could probably beat that level now. I've always wanted to beat that level. Not gonna lie, I have an A-Trap. I'm looking at this fucking Popeyes menu right now, bro. Shit's making me fucking hard. They telling me they got shrimp in here though. Oh, they do have shrimp here. My girl needs to hurry up with her decision. Alright, let's try to get. Oh, what is it? 84? 83? I need to engrave this fucking part in my fucking head, bro. Because I genuinely do not want to die here. Fuck me. Oh my god, bro. That jump is a little tight in the pussy area, bro. Like, what the fuck? Okay, she wants the shrimp combo. I'm guessing it's this. Hold up, I gotta ask her what she want her shrimp. How are you dying? Hey, bro, I can ask you the same thing. Like, why didn't you beat hell? But, you know, you don't want to have those conversations. You fucking quit. Unlike me, I'm not a quitter. So you can criticize all you want. I could die as many times. I know for sure I'm gonna beat the level. I know I'm not gonna drop it like someone. Imagine dropping levels. Could never be me. Never be me. Bruh. Bruh. Damn, bro. she want lemon pepper. We're feeling mad sophisticated tonight, boys. She probably wants a Coke. Alright, time to order my shit. Should I get the chicken sandwich? I don't want no bev. I don't think you understand how hungry I am right now, dude. Oh. Not gonna lie, I did not make a fucking thumbnail, bro. I was so lazy. By the way, if you guys think I only drink beer, grow up. I drink wine. I'm a sophisticated boy. Sophisticated man. Fuck you, me, the fucking fakes. Dude, I'm actually fucking stupid. I always do that jump so early, bro. I always do that too, bro. Holy shit. 58 to 84. What is that, like 20%? Get out of here, man. You be dropping levels, man. I wouldn't be surprised if you dropped this. Oh my fucking god. I don't like that jump. Finally, Jesus Christ. Alright, 84 to 100. I'm definitely gonna practice that ending off camera a lot. Anywho, now it's time to get to hell because now we have the wave. Oh my god. What? He retried your message like I didn't see it. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening, man. 9 circles I see. I mean, that's where the spinning wheel landed on. I don't know what you want me to tell you. Read the ending in 2 attempts. Hello, guess who's here? It's Pack. What's good, bro? Alright. Let's try to figure out what the fuck I do here. I'm not gonna lie, chat. The whiner's already hitting me. So, I'm not gonna lie. Once that Popeyes comes in, bro, I'm not gonna be sober. Yeah, like, how fucking lightly do you want me to click it? Alright. Alright. Oh. 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 Okay. Bro. Sorry, chat. My mom called me. Just trying to figure out this click pattern. I'm holding it too long. Like, bro. Every year, start POS in 1 attempt. You're bragging. I just started on this. Like, I have not touched this level, so. But you didn't beat hell, though. And I did. I don't give up like people like you. You keep bragging. I'm gonna brag too. I beat you on the race. And you quit. It's okay, bro. It's okay. Bro. Dude. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm getting drunk. That's okay though. I got food coming in the way that's just gonna lock me back in. But I'm gonna get more wine. Ooh, chat. We're pouring the wine. Hold up. You guys want to see? You guys want to see? Let me show you guys how Elegant Man pours wine. Fabuloso. My muscle memory is gone because I haven't played on sugar in a few days. I had it back. Gonna be drunk while playing. That's what I did for Hell. I used to fucking watch. What's his name? Nexus, I think his name is. I'd watch him play Hell. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. The fact that I'm in pair right now is not helping. Alright, that's the furthest we got. Oh! Hey, sir. Can you try my level? I'm in the middle of practicing. So, I'm gonna have to decline. Don't. It's like 30 seconds long. My answer still stays the same. Bro. "30 seconds is fun. I could do a lot of things for 30 seconds. Oof. I get better at this click pattern. Now, sometimes I do like pretty good, and then I do that. Answer is not that hard. This is not supposed to be a hate comment, just a fact. I'm not good at the wave. I don't know what to tell you. I'm not good at that. This is my weakest part of gameplay. So it's going to be a little more harder for me. That's why I'm practicing. It's sometimes people lack comprehension skills. It's okay though. I'm also drunk. I'm not drunk. I'm like tipsy though. But yeah, once I eat my food, I'll play better. That shit's. Is it on the way? I don't even know if that shit's on the way. What are you guys talking about? Where my food at? Hey, they're picking it up. I should do a practice mode. So right here, you just. You gotta go wider. I can't even get mad. I'm too lit right now. And then... oh yeah, then fucking dual part. Okay. Oh, my pussy hurts. All right. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna get a lot more better once I eat. It's too fucking early. I kind of lied right there. I'm a waste spammer Gaza, you're maybe cook. Dude, have you guys not seen me like practice? After all the levels I've done, have you guys not seen me practice? You guys know how this goes. I'm tired of like being like, oh, I don't know if I can do this. Bro, man, fuck that. I can do this. It's just gonna take time. That's fine. If I'm being honest, I still think this level is gonna take less time to beat than hell. You got anyone got any predictions how long this is gonna take me? Last level I did one practice stream, and then the next stream I beat it from playing from zero. Three to five streams. Let's see if you still got that same statement once I eat. Whoops. Yeah, this part is not that bad. Oh, am I using the mouse? Yeah, I've been using the mouse. I've been using the mouse since forever. Bro, for some reason, the last mini dual wave keeps making my wave misaligned. I keep dying to that motherfucker right there, bro. Okay, that was decent. I don't know how far I made it though. I'm doing this while tipsy. Man. My hands are sweaty. Let me wipe them. Can't relate, man. You're in the Star POS. That's me, by the way. Yeah, I mean, like, I heard that, you know, a good thing is to do other Start POSs so you don't get frustrated. is hard to this is hard to see, I guess. This is something that we might be actually. Well, we do need to learn this ball part. So we gotta hit this late. You don't hit that one. I hit it anyways. That one you gotta hit late. Don't hit that one, bruh. Nah, bro, I'm not hitting that shit late enough. I keep doing the exact same thing. And then I hit the fucking one I'm not supposed to hit. If you play from zero, I'll play from zero. Dude, this is a practice stream. I'm not gonna play from zero, bro. Like, where is this at? This is probably at the ship, which I would say that the ship is my strongest part. So I'll probably be able to get this down pretty quick. That was much clicking. I'm starting from next stream. I gotta eat first, bro. If I'm being honest, I'm like mad tipsy. Alright, that white wine hitting. I feel good though. Man, I miss Black Ops 3, bro. They made a new update on Black Ops 3. And I can't really play it because I had a bunch of fucking mods and shit. And that update kind of fucked it up. So now I gotta fucking, I don't know. I gotta deal with it. I was planning on doing like a really like a high round zombie stream, but the update kind of ruined my plans, I guess. But yeah, that video for Hell, I finished cutting up the video, so the whole raw, not the raw video, like the cut up version of the video is done. There's probably like a little things I need to add here and there, but other than that, the video is basically done. And once I upload that video, I'm gonna start my new playthrough, which is gonna be Spider-Man 2. I've been holding back Spider-Man 2 because I just became a I started playing Resident Evil, and yeah, Resident Evil was very fun. So then when I heard that Resident Evil was coming out in February, I was like, shit, I gotta do that. So I've been holding back the Spider-Man 2 series, but now that I beat Resident Evil Requiem, we're gonna do a Spider-Man 2 playthrough. I just wanna get past the shit part. Oh, this level used to piss me off. Dude, I'm tipsy right now, so I can't really even get mad, bro. I'm like chilling. Did she pick up my food or what? The fuck? She still hasn't picked that up? I'm gonna get more wine then, I guess. Ugh. Try the bananas, darling. They're dashing. Oh. Try the bananas, darling. They're dashing. I always click so hard right there. No. Finally, my food's on the way. Wait, no account for GD? Bro. No! I was so close. Alright, I gotta lock in. My fucking food's about to be here. Bruh. I did not lock in. Alright, my food's here. God damn it. I got my food. Alright. You guys already know what time it is when I got food. It's time to react. Alright. I got some fries. And I got some fried chicken. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, boy. Anywho. Alright, we're gonna react to something. You know what, chat? We're gonna react to some educational. Give me fry, please. I need this, Chico. Oh no, you on some fast shit. What do you guys want to see? You guys want to see my stomach kind of empty? Get your money up, boy. You guys want to watch like something informational? I haven't eaten. What are you, my son? You're gonna watch Oversimplified. Have you guys ever heard of Oversimplified? Basically, what his channel is he just simplifies history, and he has like cool animations. And since you guys probably don't know me, or don't know me like that, you guys probably don't know that my favorite subject is history. I love history. History is history is good for you, chat. I don't know if you guys ever heard the saying of history repeats itself. Yeah, if you don't learn history, history tends to repeat itself. I flipped 51 to 100% 9 circles. It's on my recommendation. So which war do you guys want to learn about? We got World War II. We got the Napoleon Wars. Napoleon, chat. I did not know. Napoleon was a fucking dog. Mine is math. I hate it, but I love it at the same time. I hated math. The history, I always liked history because it's all like stuff that actually like happened. Napoleon was a dog. People don't even. People might not know. That motherfucker was a motherfucker. We got the Civil War. The Cold War is interesting because Cold War was like something like, it was just weird. It was a weird war because like war didn't happen, but war did happen at the same time. Fuck it. We'll watch World War II. That's like always like the most popular one. We're gonna talk about the funny mustache boy. I'm letting you guys know right now. The funny mustache guy. Not really that funny though. Oh my god, give me this chicken right now. I need it. I need it. Give me the drum. By the way, what grape is percentage and find a base? What? What are you on about? Oh.
Churchill was a man with many talents. He was an artist, a butterfly enthusiast, and he had an unpublished manuscript about aliens. Clearly, he was a man with an insatiable thirst for knowledge. Maybe he could have loaded up his computer and logged onto Skillshare, an online learning community with more than 19,000 classes in design, business, technology, and more. Perhaps he was considering a side career in fashion, but didn't know where to start.
Damn. This brown's broken. I hate you.
Skillshare, he would find courses in fashion design and garment construction.
We're not sponsored by Skillshare.
Now, without further ado,
Don't listen to them.
it's 1902. A young man by the name of Benito Mussolini moves from Italy to Switzerland to avoid military service. He gets big into socialism, working for trade unions, writing for socialist newspapers, advocating a violent overthrow of European monarchies, the whole shebang. This gets him in a bit of trouble with the Swiss police, so he gets arrested, sent back to Italy, set free, returns to Switzerland, is arrested again, goes back to Italy again, completes his military service after previously avoiding it, and then after a brief stint as an elementary school teacher, he finally returns to work as an avid socialist. His speeches and journalistic abilities made him famous among Italian socialists.
By the way, chat, it's in the channel name. It's oversimplified. So he's just oversimplifying a lot of things that happen in history. So, you know, there's always more details to shit.
He was anti-war, so when Italy colonized Libya in 1910, he rioted and got arrested. Then World War I came along, and once again he protested Italy's involvement. But then he thought, wait a minute, this war could bring about the social climate needed to overthrow European monarchies and bring about the socialist revolution everywhere. And suddenly he was pro-war. But his fellow socialists didn't like his new pro-war stance, so they kicked him out of the party. So then he said, you know what? I'm done with socialism. We need something new, not based on class divisions tearing us apart, but based on unity through nationality. We'll conquer the Mediterranean and reunite all Italian peoples just like the days of the Roman Empire. I'll call it fascismo, and it will guide the Italian nation to greatness. That's all well and good, Mr. Mussolini, but what kind of haircut am I giving you? Let's go with bold.
He wasn't even bald in some of these pictures, which is kind of funny. He was mostly bald, though. I don't know why his eyes are like that, though. I already watched this. Bummer, I'm watching it. I watched it multiple times. It's a good video. Are you hating? I love me history.
Italy had been on the winner's side in World War I, and they hoped they were going to get a lot out of it, but in the end, they only got a little, and they felt cheated. On top of that, a bad economy and weak governments meant that the Italian people were a little unhappy. So when Mussolini came along and said that he could fix everything, his fascist movement gained a lot of support. In 1922, he went to the king and said, make me prime minister, or I'll make me prime minister. And the king said, you and what army? This army. Fair enough. Then he went about establishing a dictatorship.
I just find it crazy how easily people are just easily influenced. Like that. The country has to go to shit, and someone can come up with the most radical ideas. But since the country is so shit at the moment, they're like, you know what? We believe this guy. You know, maybe he'll take us to the promised land. And then bullshit happens. Every single time.
With himself at its center, Europe had its first fascist dictator. Next up, Germany. Germany had been on the loser's side, and they got absolutely wrecked.
Germany got fucked. Chat, when I tell you Germany during World War I got fucked, they got fucked. Their economy got fucked. They were told that their armies, or a lot of the military, they had to be disbanded. They were like, fuck you. And then they also, on top of that, owed a shit ton of fucking money to everyone who won that war, I guess. But all right, Germany got fucked. There was a treaty that happened. And honestly, because of that treaty is why World War II happened. Because Germany was just They just simply just got fucked.
by the Treaty of Versailles. They lost territory,
Yeah. You just said the treaty. That's the treaty, though.
had to demilitarize the Rhineland, had to reduce their army to just 100,000 men, couldn't have an air force, had to pay the Allies a huge amount of money that it didn't have, and a new rule was established that every Englishman withheld the right to walk into the center of Berlin, pick out any German they wanted, and spank the hell out of them. I made that last one up, but it helps you understand how all of this felt to Germans. On top
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he made that up, but they probably felt that way, though.
of that, a bad economy and weak governments meant that when a small angry man with a silly mustache came along and said that he could fix everything, the German people loved it. Hitler had been a soldier during World War I, and he was crazy patriotic, and nobody was madder than him about Germany's humiliation. He helped start a new political party, and in 1923 attempted a march on Munich with his boys. And then he got arrested. But his popularity grew, and in 1933, the president made him
Bro, they like they blur the shit, bro. The little sign, you know what I mean?
chancellor. He believed he was Germany's great destined savior, and he went full megalomaniac, establishing a dictatorship with himself at its center. Europe had fascist dictator number 2. Hitler and Mussolini had a lot of the same ideas, but more importantly, they had the same enemies, and they started to get along. Anyone else want to be friends? Franco? No? You good? I do. Who's that? It's Japan, and they've taken over northern China.
See, I got a problem with World War II. A lot of people really like to focus on Germany. Yeah, obviously that's the funny mustache guy. But a lot of people like to focus on the fact that, like, oh my God, it was just Germany. Yeah, it was like the evil, like, it wasn't just Germany. It was Germany, or Germany, Italy, Japan, and Russia for a little bit until Germany turned on Russia. Because, I mean, ultimately Germany wanted to fucking just take over the whole goddamn world.
Let's rewind a bit. Japan had isolated itself from the rest of the world for over 200 years until the Americans showed up and said, you're going to trade with us and you're going to like it. Then the Western powers imposed a bunch of unequal treaties, meaning Japan's economy was bust. They also had no natural resources, so they decided to go get some. They went to war with China to gain a sphere of influence over Korea, and they took a bunch of China's stuff. But then the West said, hey, cut that out. And since Japan couldn't take on the West, they said, okay, I guess we'll just go home. Wait a minute, what are you doing? Taking advantage of a weakened China and setting up spheres of influence. But I was the one who weakened them. We know. And you guys didn't let me have anything. We know. That seems unfair. We don't think so. Okay, see ya. So Japan thought, screw this, and went to war with Russia, and stunned everyone by actually winning. Then they fully annexed Korea, but they didn't stop there. In World War I, they took Germany's colonies and islands in Asia. And then in an incident that was maybe staged by the Japanese army, a bomb blew up a Japanese train in Manchuria, giving them an excuse to launch an invasion and take over. So here's the situation. Nazi Germany, Fascist Italy, and Japan all believe they're racially superior, all feel hostility towards the Allies, and all want to militarize and take over more stuff. And so they did. Let's start with Germany. Hitler hated the Treaty of Versailles, and now he was ready to begin undoing it. In complete violation of the treaty, the first
Chad, if it wasn't for that fucking treaty, a lot of things in history would be different. That treaty really was just so fucking bad. Like, don't get it wrong. Like, yeah, Germany lost World War One and shit. But that treaty is definitely like one of the main causes of why World War II happened. Because of that treaty is because why the economy of Germany was just went to fucking shit. It just went boop to the point where people, like the middle class people of Germany, could not even fucking buy bread. Like, bread was so fucking expensive. That's how bad it was. There was people starving during that time. So then when you got like someone like Mustache Boy, you know, speaking like the way he's speaking and then talking about like, I can bring Germany back, people are going to believe in him because they're in a weakened state right now. I'm not trying to excuse what they fucking did because obviously they were very
Luftwaffe squadrons
They were
set
very
up,
wrong.
conscription was introduced, and he pimped up his army. The Allies did nothing. Then Hitler sent his army back into the demilitarized Rhineland, giving orders to immediately retreat if the Allies showed up. The Allies did nothing. With his military re-strengthened, he could now move on to step 2. He wanted to rapidly increase the Aryan population, and to do so, he needed Lebensraum, or in other words, he would have to take over the world. But for now, a good portion of Europe would do, and he began eyeing up his neighbors. The Allies finally started to get worried, so they implemented a fairly useless diplomatic strategy called appeasement, and it went a little something like this. Hitler would say, "I want that thing," and the Allies would say, "You can't have that thing." "Okay, you can have that thing, but no more." "I want that thing." And repeat. In 1938, Hitler's army marched into Austria and just took it, with no resistance. Boom, this is Germany now. Next, he demanded to be given the Sudetenland, an area of Czechoslovakia with many ethnic Germans. The Allies held a meeting with Hitler in Munich and said, "Look, we're going to give you what..." "Hang on, this meeting is about my territory. Shouldn't I come to the meeting too?" "Anyway, we're going to give you what you want."
That happens a lot. That happens a lot. I don't know if you guys know, really. I'm not. I don't know if we have anyone in the chat, but I don't want to get controversial, but Palestine gave money to the United Kingdom or Britain or whatever the fuck. So did the Israelis. The Britain or United Kingdom told, I'm in chat? All right. So the United Kingdom said that if you guys give us money to fund this war or whatever the fuck, which I think it was World War I, if you give us money to fund this war, we'll give you this land. The land was Palestine. He promised that land to Israel and Palestine. They both gave money, a lot of money, to Great Britain. So then after like the whole war ended, it became a problem. The fact that he promised 2 countries or 2 people this land, even though it's the fucking United Kingdom and they don't even fucking own the land. But yeah, you know, both sides gave a lot of money to the United Kingdom because they, you know, the whole thing was, oh, they're going to promise this land for me. They both put up their end of the bargain. But now shit is like iffy, and shit's been iffy ever since then. Shit's been shit. So like that's why I'm using that for example. Like a country is literally about to get invaded by Germany, but the 2 countries that are talking are not even the country that's about to get invaded. Like that doesn't make sense, but you know.
Really? Yeah. Just like that? Yep. What's the catch? Just sign this piece of paper promising you won't invade the rest of Czechoslovakia. Okay. Then Chamberlain returned home victorious, waving his signed piece of paper in the air, declaring crisis to be averted and the continuation of world peace, and we built a statue of Chamberlain in his honor, and every day on the 30th of September we celebrate Chamberlain Day. Hitler's invading the rest of Czechoslovakia. What? He's invading the rest of Czechoslovakia. Oh. You lied to me. What do you expect? I'm Hitler. Not to be outdone, Mussolini also wanted to get in on the action. He thought to himself, isn't there a not yet colonized nation somewhere which is so underdeveloped that the people would be defending themselves against our tanks with literal bows and arrows and wooden spears? Oh, there is? Fantastic. And so he took it. Italy also wanted to control the entrance to the Adriatic Sea, so they occupied Albania. Then, in another incident which was maybe staged by the Japanese, gunfire was exchanged by Japanese and Chinese troops at the Marco Polo Bridge, and the Japanese launched yet another invasion against China. They swept through Beijing and Shanghai, and then advanced through the Yangtze Valley to China's then capital, Nanking. It was here that saw the worst of Japan's shocking atrocities committed against the Chinese people. Back in Europe, Germany and Italy made their relationship status official by signing the Pact of Steel. Then, Hitler turned his eyes towards Poland.
Chap, when I say that Japan, they did some fucking atrocities, bro. They did horrible things. Damn, my stream's effing. But yeah, like I was saying, Japan, I can tell you guys something to search up. And if you guys search it up, you're going to be like, what the fuck? If you never heard about it. Japan did horrible things to the Chinese. Terrible things. Horrible things.
And the hated Polish corridor splitting Germany in two. At this point, the Allies really had to put their foot down, and they warned him that an invasion of Poland would mean war. Hitler had planned to continue his advance eastward, but he didn't want to end up fighting a war on two fronts. So for now, he made an alliance with Stalin, saying, how about we both invade Poland and split it between the two of us, and I definitely won't not refrain from not betraying you sometime in the future. Sounds good. This new alliance stunned the West. On the 1st of September 1939, German troops entered Poland, and Britain and France declared war on Germany.
So see, this is why I say like the Soviet Union or Russia was like having an ally and not, because they literally helped Germany conquer Poland.
The Poles fought hard, but they were no match for the two giants crashing down on them from either side. Then came a period known as the Phony War, where everyone just sort of sat around not doing much. The French had launched a small invasion into the Saarland, but they maintained mostly defensive positions, and after a while decided to just turn around and call it a day. Speaking of France, the French were still super proud of their victory in World War I, and they hadn't really moved on from it. They still used horses, they dispatched messages by motorbike instead of using radio, orders from the commander-in-chief were usually pretty vague, and the troops were rarely inspected. They built a line of defenses along their German border, but didn't bother extending it all the way to the Channel, and they wouldn't launch artillery strikes against Germany out of fear of being retaliated against. In a war, they didn't want to attack the enemy. And at first the UK wasn't much better. Chamberlain still naively hoped that the war could be ended diplomatically. Instead of bombing raids, the RAF dropped propaganda leaflets over German cities, which one air marshal said likely did nothing but provide the continent with toilet paper for the duration of the war. They also only sent 200,000 men to France, while the French had mobilized millions. Both Britain and France wanted to avoid a repeat of the First World War, and so they wanted to keep the war as far from home as possible. So they turned their eyes north, towards Norway. Neutral Sweden was exporting.
You should, I guess you mean should do, not to. Forest Temple or Fair does, because you said it's slowly gonna get harder. Yeah, but like now we're doing the whole spinning wheel shit, so like, yeah, that's fucking great.
Exporting iron ore to Germany through neutral Norway. So the Allies asked them if they could please stop exporting iron ore to Germany, but this request was refused. Then the Soviet Union attacked Finland. So the Allies said, how about we land troops in Norway and move them across Sweden to go help out your good pal Finland, and along the way maybe take control of all your airfields. But Norway and Sweden still said no. So the UK mined the waters around Norway to force any transport ships into international waters, and they also attacked a German tanker they found in the area. Hitler realized what the Allies were up to, and he quickly moved to secure his supply of iron ore. He launched an invasion through Denmark into Norway. The Allies rushed to land troops at key ports along the coast, but Germany had taken control of Norway's airfield, and their air superiority decided the fight. The Allies had to retreat. After this slightly embarrassing failure, Chamberlain resigned and was replaced with Winston Churchill, who had a slightly different approach to dealing with the Germans. Hitler's overall strategy was similar to Germany's First World War strategy.
Churchill was it Churchill? I think it was Churchill. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was a fucking racist. I mean, this is like 1940s. This is in the 1940s. Mostly everyone there was fucking racist shit. Is this oversimplified? Yeah. Yeah, I got food and we're watching this.
strategy. Attack France, defeat France, knocking out the UK in the process, then turn on the Soviet Union and win the war. During the phony war, the Allies had given Hitler time to prepare his forces. Now, he was ready to attack. The Allies had wanted to place troops in Belgium, but Belgium had refused, and in a move that surprised pretty much no one, Hitler launched an invasion to get around France's defenses. The Allies charged into Belgium at full speed to meet the German invasion head-on, and it looked like a repeat of the First World War was coming. But this time, Hitler had a trick up his sleeve. Blitzkrieg. As the Germans advanced, they sent thousands of refugees westward, slowing down the Allies. Then, to the south, the French had left the Ardennes, an area full of hills and forests, pretty underdefended because they thought it was naturally impenetrable. Well, the Germans were about to penetrate it with everything they had. They smashed 50 Wehrmacht divisions through and encircled the Allied armies at lightning speed. The best of the Allied forces were now trapped. The Germans squeezed in from all sides, taking out France's best armies and nearly wiping out the British too. But they managed to make a desperate last-minute escape at Dunkirk, with British civilian ships even making the perilous journey to bring their young men home. With most of the French forces depleted, the Germans breathed.
All right, chat. I'm gonna tell you guys something that if you're not into history, that you probably might not know. But apparently during this time, a lot of these soldiers for Germany, I'm not gonna say their party, but a lot of those soldiers were apparently on meth. And that's why they were like so fucking... Is this related to Nine Circles? I'm eating food and I'm reacting to a video. I took a break. Get off my dick. Anywho. So yeah, a lot of the soldiers were literally on meth during this time. And that shit was crazy to me. Apparently Hitler was... Oh, damn, I said his name. Funny Mustache Guy. Funny Mustache Guy was fucking off his shit, bro. That motherfucker was doing hella drugs.
through, taking Paris, and France fell. What the Germans couldn't do in World War I, Hitler had done just like that. Hitler hoped that with the fall of France, the UK would also lose hope and sue for peace. But quite annoyingly, it didn't, and he needed to secure the Western Front, so he tried to force them into...
You didn't know? Yeah, they were on meth. They were on a shit ton of meth.
Submission with mind games. The UK were now all alone, and Hitler wanted to emphasize that. First of all, just before France fell, Italy finally declared war on the Allies, making the UK's situation even worse. Next, instead of just occupying all of France, Hitler occupied the coastal areas for defense, but allowed France to continue its existence as a German puppet.
You know there's chances for YouTube live ban? Why would they ban me off a video that is literally on YouTube?
State. This way, it looked like the UK's old ally.
What are you watching, bro? I'm watching Oversimplified. It's a history. It oversimplifies history because I'm pretty sure you guys probably can't watch in-depth history.
Had decided to switch sides. Hitler also hoped that the UK wouldn't attack any of her old allies' navy bases or colonies in Africa, giving Hitler an extra line of defense to the south. But the UK made sure to respond to this by sailing down to France's navy base in Algeria and wrecking a bunch of ships. So have at it. Hitler then began laying down plans for an invasion of Great Britain. Before German troops could land on British soil, he would first need air and naval superiority across the Channel. Waves of German bombers came, while the completely outnumbered RAF worked bravely around the clock in an attempt to quell the German attacks. At first, the Luftwaffe targeted British ports and coastal facilities. Then it attacked RAF bases, crippling the RAF's ability to defend the nation. And it looked like Hitler's Great British Invasion was coming. But then, Churchill ordered a small, pretty insignificant bombing raid over Berlin. It didn't do much damage, but Hitler was furious, and he immediately ordered the Luftwaffe to refocus its attacks on civilian targets in London. Children were sent off to the countryside, away from their parents to avoid danger, and frequent trips to air raid shelters became a daily occurrence. But British morale held firm. Smiling, knitting, lounging casually, these people have balls of steel. This refocusing on London also gave the RAF breathing space to reorganize, so Hitler kind of shot himself in the foot there. Just the foot for now. Finally, the Luftwaffe sent one...
There's a lot of conspiracy theories over Mr. Mustache Boy's face, or not face, but his death.
One massive all-out attack on London, and the RAF successfully repelled it, destroying many of the German aircraft and placing air superiority firmly in British hands. Hitler's invasion had to be postponed, but the bombing of British cities continued for some time.
You guys want to watch part 2? I'm still not done eating. Fuck it.
This video was made possible by
No!
Skillshare.
I'm
an
not
online
sponsored
learning
by
community.
them.
Stick around until the end of the video to learn how you can get an exclusive deal just for overseas,
Stop.
particularly in the African and Italian campaigns. On the Axis side, Germany, Italy, and Japan signed the defensive tripartite.
So if you got any new people here, quick recap. This is about World War II. World War II had Germany, obviously, Italy, and Japan all against the world, and I guess the Soviet Union for a bit, because when it came to invading Poland, the Soviet Union and Germany did that together. They both invaded Poland until eventually Germany was like, I want to invade you now. And, they invaded France, a couple countries in Africa. And Japan was going against China and doing atrocities. Like atrocities. Really bad things. America during this time was not really into the war. During this time, America did not want to get in the war, especially after World War One, because I feel like people forget after World War One happened, even though we had a lot of deaths, we had the virus. We had a virus come out, and that also killed a lot of people. So not only did we lose a lot of humans because of World War One. After that, we lost a lot of people because of the flu, or was it the flu, like the Spanish flu or some shit like that?
Tripartite Pact, bringing their military alliance even closer together. The Soviet Union's war against Finland should have been an easy victory, but it became a humiliating struggle, and their military ineptitude was put on full display. In the end, they did force the Finns to sue for peace. Then, they continued their honorable campaign of pushing around much smaller countries by annexing the Baltic states and part of northern Romania. France's colonies in equatorial Africa were like, heck no, we aren't going to join the Germans, and they all pledged their allegiance to free France, except for Gabon, which had to be taken by military force. The Allies also tried to capture the strategic port of Dakar, but that ended in failure. Mussolini had seen Hitler's successes, and he thought now it was Italy's time to shine, so he tried to take British Somaliland, and that went pretty well. Then he tried to take Egypt, and that went less well. Then he tried to take Greece, and that went really badly. Churchill began referring to Italy as Europe's soft underbelly. He began favoring a military campaign from the south and started sending British troops to Greece. All of this had Hitler pretty concerned, and he moved to protect his southern flank. He had been getting friendly with Hungary and twisted their arm into signing the Tripartite Pact and joining the Axis powers. Romania was also eager to join for protection against the Soviet Union. The Tripartite Pact was designed to prevent any other countries from deciding to join the Allies, specifically Britain's old ally, the pesky United States of America. When war first broke out, American public opinion was strongly against joining in. In 1940, there was an election. The Republican candidate said, I will not send any young Americans to die in Europe, and sitting President Franklin D. Roosevelt said, I will also not send any young Americans to die in Europe. Unless I have to, then I might. And Roosevelt won. Churchill asked,
And why did we send Americans there? It was all because of Pearl Harbor. We'll get there though.
him to join the war. But Roosevelt said, no can do, Winston. But you know what? Here, have some weapons. America began supplying the Allies with food and munitions. But there was one problem. German U-boats were sinking thousands of Allied supply ships in the Atlantic, including American ones. If the Germans could sever Britain's supply line, the UK would starve. Throughout the war, the Allies had to come up with better technology to fight the U-boats. Improved radar, aircraft with longer range, better weaponry and convoy tactics. At one point, a man even called a meeting and said, Pykrete, you take some wood, you take some ice, you put them together, you get Pykrete. And then he pulled out a gun and shot some wood and it shattered. And then he shot some Pykrete and the bullet ricocheted off it and hit someone else in the conference room. Then they tried to make a Pykrete aircraft carrier, but that idea was scrapped because that's a really dumb idea. In the end, Alan Turing and his team of codebreakers cracked Germany's Enigma code, and the U-boats gradually became less and less of a threat. Back in Africa, Britain decided to push Italy out of Egypt. Hey, that was pretty easy, so they kept going. Hitler realized he was going to have to finally step in and do something. He went to Bulgaria and Yugoslavia and said, hey, I'm going to move troops through you to get to Greece, so either join us or, be invaded. Bulgaria opted to join them. Yugoslavia opted to be invaded. Then Greece finally fell to the joint German-Italian invasion. The British had moved troops from North Africa to fight in Greece, which helped Rommel and his tank divisions push the British back to Egypt, and they could have kept going, but a small, mostly Australian force held out under siege for 8 months in Tobruk, denying the Germans a strategic port city and disrupting their supply line. Despite having some success in the Middle East, the British didn't seem like any real threat for now. Hey, Soviet Union, look out! With 3 million troops, Hitler launched the...
This is where Germany fucked up. Germany, as evil as they were, Germany had full advantage. And yeah, funny mustache boy. He just got too eager, bro. He was just biting too much, or like, what is it? What is it saying? Like too much, more than you can chew, or whatever the fuck it's called. That's basically what happened. Because, yeah, him going after the Soviet Union, even though the Soviet Union literally helped them invade Poland. Meh. But yeah, this is where Hitler fucked up. Or funny mustache boy. This is definitely where he fucked up. I'm back. Welcome back.
Largest ground invasion in history, and Stalin was far from ready. Both Churchill and Roosevelt had warned him of an impending attack, but he dug his head in the sand and the Soviets didn't stand a chance. Germany made staggering progress, with huge encircling movements capturing mind-boggling numbers of Russian troops. 250,000 at Bialystok, Minsk, 300,000 at Smolensk, nearly 700,000 at Kiev, and again at Vyazma and Bryansk. Leningrad was put under a siege that would last an insufferable 4 years. The invasion of Russia had been Hitler's main ideological goal from the beginning, and his hatred for the ethnic peoples there was now unleashed in all its fury. The Eastern Front of the Second World War was brutal for all that endured it. The Germans were now inside of Moscow, and that's it. It's all over. But then it happened. It got cold. Stupid cold. Hitler had hoped the Soviets would give up before winter, but they kept fighting.
It was so cold, bro. Russia, or the Soviet Union during that time, is so fucking huge, bro, that like, bro, it got fucking cold. You know how cold it has to be to your car to fucking, for oil to freeze in your car, bro? That's fucking cold.
His commanders came to him and said, "Can we please dig in for the winter and wait until spring?" "No, keep going." "But oil is literally freezing inside our vehicles." "That's fine, keep going." "We're having to leave the corpses of our frozen horses by the side of the road so we can still find our way in the snowdrift." "Perfectly normal, keep going." Hitler hadn't given his millions of men winter clothing and supplies because he thought he really should have won by now. Then, Stalin called in troops from the Siberian front, specially trained to fight in the extreme cold, and the Germans were no match. They were now being pushed back. They had no choice but to dig in and wait for winter to end. Germany's victories were staggering, and Japan was eager not to miss the victory bus. Their war in China had come to a standstill, but they wanted to keep expanding their sphere of influence and getting those sweet, sweet raw materials. They began making plans to expand southward, but there was a problem. Southeast Asia was heavily colonized by America and Great Britain. It was also full of ocean. Ocean meant naval combat, and there was no way the Japanese Navy could stand up to the US and the UK. So they thought, wouldn't it be nice if we could destroy their navies before we begin our conquest? And so it was. On December 7th, 1941, the Japanese launched a surprise air raid on the US Pacific Fleet.
The famous Pearl Harbor, chat. And then America joined the war
At Pearl Harbor and inflicted a huge amount of damage. They also attacked British colonies in Southeast Asia. Roosevelt had no choice but to declare war on Japan, and so did Churchill. Hitler then declared war on America, even though he totally didn't have to. The attack on Pearl Harbor seemed like a big Japanese victory, but they didn't attack any of the naval repair yards, fuel storage tanks, or the submarine base, meaning the Pacific Fleet would be up and running again pretty soon. In the meantime, though, the Japanese were able to begin their conquest. They took Guam, the Gilbert Islands, Wake Island, Hong Kong, and the Philippines. They forced Thailand to join them so they could march their troops through to Malaya. They swept through Singapore, North Borneo, the East Indies, New Guinea, the Solomons, and they were now threatening northern Australia and the borders of India. Japan's victory had been as staggering as the Germans, and it reinforced the Japanese idea that this was a divine war which they were destined to win. But their victories had been based on speed, not power, and power would eventually catch up with them. For now, though,
You gotta know that logo. That logo is from the Trinity bombing test, or the atomic bomb. That is the big old atomic bomb.
in all occupied nations, the people suffered persecution, forced labor, harsh punishments for any who spoke out against their occupiers. In Europe, the Nazis were rounding up ethnic minorities and other unwanted groups and individuals. In particular, millions of Jewish people would suffer through the terrible events of the Holocaust. Brave resistance movements rose up in defiance of their invaders, while the people held out for hope. And hope was coming.
Man, why is my stream effing? .400 bit rate is crazy. Then I should jump to 20,000 bit rate. There we go. We're back.
Winter was over, and Hitler could continue his push eastward. But this time, he switched up his strategy. He wanted to focus on the south. His plan was to cut off the Russian armies in the Caucasus, an area full of oil, and then invade the Caucasus and take all the oil. His forces moved across the north with ease, and Hitler got cocky. He rerouted the 4th Panzer Army south early, leaving the 6th Army to complete the encircling movement alone. To do so, the 6th Army had to reach and take the key Soviet city of Stalingrad. The Russians defended it fiercely, and Stalingrad saw some of the harshest fighting of the entire war. The Soviets held up the German...
Man, this reminds me of like that Call of Duty mission, bro. I don't know if you guys ever played Call of Duty War at War. It was from Treyarch. But yeah, there was like a big battle there. You know, Stalingrad was like... The battle in Stalingrad was really, really bloody. Really, really bloody.
For 5 months as they battled in the war-torn city, which bought them valuable time. When the Germans had first launched their invasion a year earlier, the Soviets had moved their factories to the east. Those factories had been building a butt-ton of tanks and aircraft and getting the Soviet army up to scratch. Now, it was ready. Stalin gathered his new and improved forces around the city, and in an attack that resembled Hitler's own encirclement tactics, they began surrounding the 6th Army. Hitler's commanders came to him and said, "Hey, maybe we should retreat." But Hitler said, "No, you stay." The entire 6th Army was trapped and had to surrender. With complete air superiority, the Soviets started pushing westward. For Stalin, it was a resounding victory. For Hitler, an absolute catastrophe. Things also weren't looking too good for Hitler elsewhere. With America now in the war, Allied bombing over German cities reached devastating levels. In Africa, the British had pushed Rommel back again. Then they were pushed back again, and finally, after a decisive battle at El Alamein, and with American and British troops arriving in the west, the Germans and Italians were squeezed out of Africa. Japan was also already seeing its rapid success being turned around. They attempted to take the island of Midway, but the US Navy was ready for the attack, and they sank Japan's carrier. Actually, they sank a lot of them. It was a battle from which the Japanese Navy would never recover. British, Indian, and Chinese troops held the line in the harsh jungle terrain of Burma, and the Japanese suffered losses in the Solomon Islands and New Guinea. They began to realize they were not invincible. With the Axis out of Africa, the Allies had to...
Invincible? I love that show. If you guys know, you guys know.
...decide their next move. Churchill still wanted to attack from the south, while the Americans preferred a full sea invasion in northern France. "All right," said the Americans, "we'll do it your way." Allied forces successfully landed in Sicily and began moving north. They also carried out bombing raids over Rome. The thing was, many of the people in Sicily had relatives living in America, and they greeted the American troops quite warmly. With the war reaching home territory, most Italians just weren't that into it, and Mussolini was suddenly very unpopular. He was voted out by his own fascist Grand Council and was toppled from power. Italy immediately began negotiations for surrender. Hitler wasn't surprised and had already sent reinforcements southward. In an operation he ironically called Operation Axis, German troops quickly disarmed Italian troops in the north. The Allies continued fighting the Germans up through Italy, but then winter set in, meaning mud, and everything slowed to a halt. All right, said the Americans, let's do it our way as well. Germany had made itself a lot of enemies, and millions of Allied troops had been gathering in England as factories worked around the clock producing the war material needed for a super crazy massive the likes of which the world has never seen before invasion of Europe. The Germans knew an Allied invasion would come, but they didn't know where it would land. Thanks to Allied deception tactics, they thought there was a pretty good
So when Germany occupied fucking France, they had a whole bunch of fucking like, what do you call that? I don't know what you call it, but like, it's like these like bunkers with like a fucking big ass cannon, and they just had it all along the beaches for to prepare for this, basically. I don't know if you guys ever heard of D-Day, but yeah, that's basically why. But it wasn't also D-Day where they invaded Omaha Beach, which is the beach where the Americans landed with I think British soldiers, and I'm pretty sure Canadians as well. There was also a couple other areas.
chance it would come at Calais, but the Allies were really going to land in Normandy because it was less fortified and the beaches were nicer. Under the careful planning of General Dwight D. Eisenhower, the invasion that had been long in the making was just about ready to go. Just one thing was preventing the launch: the British weather. For a short while, everyone sat around waiting for a decent day, and then it came. On the night of June 5th, over 1,000 bombers took off and raided coastline defenses, while paratroopers were dropped inland in a bit of a chaotic operation, tasked with sabotaging defenses and capturing key bridges to stop any German reinforcements from reaching the beaches. Early the next morning, the barrage came, as Allied ships fired a huge number of shells at the German fortifications, and then the landings. The Americans at Utah and Omaha, the British at Golden Sword, and the Canadians at Juneau. It was a tremendous struggle with a great loss of life, particularly
bad, but I got food. I was eating, and we're reacting to this right now. But we'll be back.
Particularly at Omaha, but the Allied troops captured the beaches and the
So I was right.
landings were a success. Then they began their movements inland. They took the port of Cherbourg and the city of Caen. The Americans moved south to capture Brittany. Then, in a massive disaster for the Germans, British and Canadian troops from the north and Americans from the south trapped the German 7th Army in a near wipeout encircling movement. In August, Allied troops landed in the south of France to little resistance. On one beach, all they found was a Frenchman handing out champagne. Paris was liberated, and the Germans were pushed out of France as the Allies entered Belgium. In the Far East, the Allies started to push the Japanese out of Burma, as the Americans launched a two-pronged offensive in the Pacific. In the south, General MacArthur led the push to liberate the Philippines, while General Nimitz oversaw the brutal island-hopping campaign. American forces had to make hard-fought landing after hard-fought landing on fiercely defended small islands as they moved steadily towards the Japanese mainland. The Japanese believed that the...
See, this is why the whole like nuclear bomb thing... Well, actually, the whole nuclear bomb thing was happening. Why we have nuclear bombs is because Germany was also trying to make their own. But then, like, I don't know how true this is, but I did hear that apparently Mr. Funny Mustache guy, look, let me put this in perspective right here. In America, we did not have physics during that time. That's how, like, all like the really smart people came from Europe when it came to like physics and all that shit. Literally, you can search up where fucking Albert Einstein is. He was not American. But yeah, the whole reason why the whole like atomic bomb, nuclear weapon shit happened was because Germany was also planning on making one, but then like Mr. Funny Mustache guy's hatred towards a specific group, he called that type of science, that specific group, science. So there was not really that much belief in it for some reason. I don't know. So That's why America had a really, even though they were behind, they were like in par with the whole atomic bomb race. And then but yeah, like, people would argue like, who would you rather have the bomb with? Would you rather have funny mustache guy have the fucking atomic bomb or America have the atomic bomb? During that time, you're gonna choose America, but I'm gonna be honest, no one should have that type of power. In my opinion, I think no one, no country, no one should have that type of power to the point where, like, if we go to war and someone drops a nuke on someone's country, the retaliation is going to be, I want to drop more nukes on you. And then that's ultimately going to end the world, or just us in general, because it's going to be really hard to survive with all that nuclear winter shit. Me personally, I don't agree with the whole atomic bomb. I obviously understand during this time there was like a race going on, but yeah, no, I think every country should not have that type of power. No country should have that type of power.
Greatest thing a person could do was to die in battle, and the most dishonorable act was to surrender. As a result, they fought ferociously to the very end, and the closer the Americans got to the mainland, the more ferocious the resistance became. In February 1945, the Americans captured the island of Iwo Jima, and an intense...
See, that was the excuse of why America did use the bomb in Japan, was because when they were fighting there in these islands, it just got harder and harder and harder and harder, and we were 100% losing a lot of American soldiers during these wars, and it was very brutal. So to avoid an invasion, an invasion in Japan, inland, where Japan probably would have fought hard as fuck, probably harder than what these islands that they were defending. Yeah, it would have been pretty brutal. So they used a bomb, but me personally, I still don't agree with that.
Intense firebombing campaign of Japan's wooden cities began. The Allies suffered some setbacks trying to liberate the Netherlands, but they were making progress and were now threatening the industrial heartland of Germany. Hitler's health, both mentally and physically, was rapidly deteriorating. Things were looking bad, and he was...
Another reason why his health was deteriorating was the fact that he was on a shit ton of drugs, but,
desperate. He said, "We need to turn this thing around, and I have just the trick. Remember a few years back when we blitzkrieged through the Ardennes and trapped the Allied forces in Belgium? Well, I'm going to do the exact same thing. Again." He gathered his forces and tried to pound them through the Ardennes. He used up the remainder of Germany's strength and resources, and he managed to create quite a nice bulge. He also trapped some American forces in the Belgian town of Bastogne. The Germans sent the trapped Americans a message saying surrender or be annihilated. When it was read out to the commanding officer, he said, "They want to surrender? No, sir, they want us to surrender." Nuts! And that's what they sent off as their official reply. General Patton's Third Army then managed to break the siege from the southwest, and the Germans were pushed back. Hitler's last-ditch attempt had failed, and what followed was a total collapse of the German forces. The Allies pushed in...
So yeah, you got the Allies, you got Canada, America, United Kingdom, and then you have on the other side, you got the Soviet Union, both going after Germany. Because, Germany betrayed the Soviet Union and all that shit.
To Germany from both sides. The Soviet Union took Warsaw and kept pushing to Berlin. In his bunker, Hitler realized all hope was lost. Berlin fell, and with it, Hitler's dreams of a great German empire. 2 of the Axis nations had been knocked out. 1 to go. The Americans began their assault on Okinawa, the last island before they would reach the Japanese mainland. The desperate Japanese fought hard, launching kamikaze attacks on the US ships. The citizens of Okinawa suffered through the terrible fighting, but in 2 months, the island was captured. The Allies now had to make a choice. Either continue the devastating struggle up the Japanese mainland, or they could try to coerce the Japanese into surrendering now. In July, the first successful atomic bomb test took place in New Mexico, and
that is the Trinity test right here. This is where the good old famous Oppenheimer was like the leader of that group. And yeah, success. We were successfully able to make our own atomic bomb, and honestly, it's uh my stream's effing. Is my stream coming back to life? All right, my stream's back to life. But I was like I was saying, bro, this whole atomic bomb thing was like very risky because a lot of calculations did show that the way atomic bombs work is like a chain reaction. So there was a worry to the point where like this chain reaction of the atomic bomb, if it was ignited, that it wouldn't stop and it would set fire to the atmosphere, and that would mean death for all of us. And it was a low percentage for sure, but it was a percentage nonetheless, and to the point where like they actually tested it and kind of risked the whole world's life just to see if this bomb would work. Kind of crazy, but we're still here, so obviously it didn't ignite the atmosphere and all that shit.
Destructive weapon was ready for use. America and the UK were also seeing the Soviet Union not so much liberating as occupying its captured territories, and so they wanted to put on a show of force. On August 6th, the A-bomb fell on Hiroshima. Then, on the 9th, Nagasaki.
These two bombs, or honestly, probably Hiroshima probably did more than Nagasaki, but yeah, that Hiroshima bomb literally, one bomb, over 100,000 people probably died from the bomb itself and then from radio reaction. But apparently, I think I did see some shit that was saying that like since the bomb when it was when it didn't land, the way they did it was that like it was like above the ground, so like not a lot of radiation actually like lingered on. So that's why to this day, you can go to Hiroshima and you'll be fine. You know, you can visit the country, you'll be fine. It's not the same thing as like Chernobyl. I don't know if you guys know what happened to Chernobyl. Chernobyl had a power plant, a nuclear power plant, and yeah, it went to shit. There was an explosion that happened. There was a lot of bullshit, and to this day, you can't really go to Chernobyl. Chernobyl still has decently high radiation levels. I mean, like depending on where you are, but yeah, that's why if the bomb was ignited when it landed on the ground, it would be a lot more difficult to deal with the radiation.
The cities were reduced to rubble, and for the people living there, it was a terrible fate. But for the Allies, it achieved their main aim. In September, the Emperor announced Japan's surrender, saying the war situation has developed not necessarily to Japan's advantage. After 6 years, war was finally over. The Allies occupied Japan for 8 years. The Emperor was allowed to keep his position, but General MacArthur made sure this picture was printed in the Japanese press to display to the Japanese people that their emperor was not the divine, powerful being they had believed. Germany was divided between America, the UK, France, and the Soviet Union. In 1949, the Allied sectors were united in.
Yeah, this is where it became. This is when Germany was split in half, and it became west to the east, I guess. I think West and East Germany, and then this is like kind of what caused the Cold War in a way. Honestly, the Cold War is really just a who has a bigger dick contest. America on one side saying they got a fucking 12-inch fucking huge cock, and then you got the Soviet Union saying, I got a vodka bottle fucking size cock, bro. Don't play with me. That was really the war, to the point where like it could have ended the world. That's how like bad it got. America and the Soviet Union never directly went to war, But there was a lot of things that happened where it was like, this could be bad.
into West Germany. The Second World War had been more terrible and destructive than the first. In its aftermath, two major superpowers with two very different ideologies had come out victorious, and the tension between the two of them would create a new kind of war. A very, very cold one. Wow, Churchill, that looks just...
Yeah, they're talking about the Cold War right there. But yeah, a little education for you good boys. Obviously, it's like super, super oversimplified. Hence the channel name, I guess. But, you know, if you're not really into history, it's a good channel to look at, for sure. So you can learn about a bit of history. And then if you're intrigued, then, you know, you can keep going with that. I'm going to get some water, though, and try to, like, sober up. All right. See if we can get past the shit part. Too low. Bruh. Damn, bro. I keep dying at that spot, bro. Bro, I keep fucking tapping right there, bro. Finally! Alright, we got 9 to 25. Not bad, not bad. It's like the fact I gotta hit everything late. Like, I need to really get used to that. Dude, I think I might suck more at the ball part. Oh. Maybe time warp method again, bro. Like hell. I don't know. I think I just need to really get used to the like click patterns. But like the time warp, I don't think. Nah, I don't think so yet. It's literally my first day of practicing. Like I have not touched this level at all. I just really just need to get used to like a click pattern. Like I don't even have the beginning of the level down pat yet. $58. I mean, let's see if we get fucking 58 from here. $47. Alright, how do I get to 58? Let me see. Alright, getting it to 50 is pretty hard. Oof. I feel like the hardest part is the whole goddamn level because I suck at the wave. I want mine to be alive. Oh, my foot fell asleep. I can't feel it no more. Oh, I can't even copy this shit, so I can't even do the time warp. I'm way care for that mini wave. What the fuck? Why am I trying to double click this shit? Oh my god, bro. Bruh. Bruh. Shit, bro. Probably. Man, Circle's being a bitch. Oh, that was our best run. Bro, you fucking kidding me, bro? Oh my god, I almost got to the door. Let's go, William. Why did I jump? You're not supposed to jump. That's a fake right there, bro. I hate that jump right there. Pick a 1 through 96, 7. Play from 0? Why would I play from 0? I'm literally just practicing this. I'm in no position to play from fucking 0. Is that 1 through 7? Yeah, I picked fucking 7. The fuck? Seven waves? What? Why did I jump? Can you please test my level now? I've hit the 7th wave because you said 7th. I have no idea what the fuck that means. Oh my god, bro. This level's gonna make me want to fucking shoot myself. Ugh. That is the last memory cube, bro. That's the last place I want to die at. Bro, if I die here, bro. There's a lot of spots where I can die. The most scary part is probably this jump right there. That jump right there, I don't know why. I be clicking mad early. I don't like that part either. Why do it's like a fucking habit in my brain to jump when I don't need to jump. Well, once I get through that jump, oh wow. I just jinxed myself before even like saying my shit. Like what I was about to say is like if I get through that jump, I think I should have the level down. Yeah, that jump right there. That jump is hell. There's 96 wave icons. You pick 7 side with 7. Well, I picked 7 because 7 is my favorite number, which is not original at all. I just think 7 looks cool though. A lot of people pick it because it's like a lucky number. I always just thought number 7 looked cool when I was a kid. Bruh. Why do I do that? Dude, I have to be like, there's something wrong with my brain. Finally, bro. That drip is hell reference. I wonder if I could beat hell. I'm gonna be honest, I really did like this level, bro. I'm not gonna lie. This level was really cool. I fuck with the song too, I'm not gonna lie. The song is a vibe. I really did like this level. I don't like the invisible hitboxes. That wave is a lot harder than like it looks, because there's like invisible hitboxes, and that's mad. That's mad. I don't like it. So it's a lot tighter than it seems to be. Not cool at all. I didn't really struggle at that part, but it's deceiving though. Yeah, I definitely do better at these types of levels. It looks very fun. I can't do learning levels. I rather pick skill based. I mean, this is basic. This is skill based though. Now you have to learn, but this is not a memorization level. At the same time. Hello, Mr. Chico. Yo, what's good? I needed a break from 9 circles, so I'm doing this because I'm gonna be honest. This level is honestly really fun. I suck ass in memory loads. I legit can't do geometrical because of the memory part. That part's not that bad. It's really not. Yeah, 9 circles been whipping my ass though. I'm not gonna lie. I always do that. Why do I always do that? I don't want to do that in normal mode, bro. Yeah, once I get through that jump is like cake. You watch Demon Slayer? No. I already told you guys. The closest thing I watched to like anime is Invincible, which the new season is coming out, so I can't wait for that shit. Oh my god, I'm about to bust a nut when I see that shit. Oh my god, bro, I love Invincible. I literally have the comic books like in the back right there. Yeah, the comic books are fire, bro. Hey yo, there's no hey yo when it comes to Invincible, bro. It's my shit. I want to get an Invincible poster now. What's another 17 years? I can always try again. Make another kid. Oh, what were the other quotes? What will you have after 500 years? And then he's like, you, Dad. I'll still have you. That was some real shit right there, bro. That shit was deep. After he beat the fuck out of you, bro, to like basically near death. You know, that's crazy, bro. That shit was peak though. Fuck. Ah! Seesaw. I need you, Seesaw. Or Sea Salt. Man, bro, season 3 was goated, bro. I personally like every fucking season. A lot of people like to criticize season 2. The only thing I criticize about season 2 is fuck that mid-season break, bro. Don't ever do that shit ever again, bro. Had me waiting for a couple months, bro. I was fucking dying for that shit. Especially how like the middle of the season ended, bro. That shit was so awesome, bro. Mark was finally on his shit. Mark was on his shit, bro. Mark was beating the fuck out of that fucking what was her name? Like it's like Talia or not Talia, but like Tula or some shit like that. I know it starts with a T though. Bro, they were whooped, bro. Mark was finally locking in. He whooped her ass, bro. That shit was peak. And then he like fucking like I don't give a fuck if this is spoilers, bro. That season's been out for so long now. Like we're literally on season 4. I look and feel bad for Conquest. Man, fuck Conquest, bro. That motherfucker's evil. Like, yeah, you know, like the circumstances, yeah, and that's why he became what he was. But let's be real here, bro. That motherfucker. The fact that he is stating that other Viltrumites are scared of him, other than Thrag, but the fact that other Viltrumites are scared of him, even though Viltrumites are already a very violent race and they do atrocities, bro, that motherfucker, there's something wrong with him. Battle Beast is my favorite character. Battle Beast is goated. I'm not gonna lie. Oh my god, I don't know if you like know what happens with Battle Beast, but like, I know the whole story. But bro, there's some peak shit that happens with Battle Beast. This guy's scared Thrags for. Wait, what? This guy's scared Thrags for life. Bro, I wish they made Thrag wavy, bro. I'm not gonna lie, bro. Like, at least he does have that crispy ass hairline, bro. Cause like in the comics, bro, he got that shit on, bro. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I just wish he had waves, though. That should have been dope. But yeah, nah, I don't really have empathy towards Conquest to the point where like, bro, like I said, like if you have other Viltrumites scared of you, like think about that. You have other Viltrumites scared of you. Viltrumites are not good people. Oh, you know that Battle Beast and Thrag duke it out. I don't even. You're like kind of like undercutting it or whatever the fuck you say. They didn't duke it out. They had a battle to the fucking death, and it was awesome, bro. That shit was fucking legendary, bro. And I can't wait to see that shit in animation, bro, or in the show. That shit will be so fucking fire, bro. That shit will be so fucking fire. They're looking fresh as hell. Yeah, he is. He got that drip on. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Dude, I just can't wait for season 4, bro. I think me and Logan might do like a little, might watch it together like on Discord and shit. They barely won, in my opinion. Well, they both injured each other because if you remember, Battle Beast's wife released like the Ragnards, I think they're called, and one of the Ragnards fucking injured Thrag in the midsection. So then like Battle Beast was like, oh, this is unfair. I want a fair fight. So fucking Battle Beast starts killing the fucking Ragnards with fucking Thrag. And then fucking Battle Beast is like, I don't want an unfair fight. So he fucking literally fucking just shoves his sword in his stomach. And then he's like, we're even now. Let's fucking duke it out. And then they just have a fucking fight for like a week or some shit like that. Non-stop, just straight up fighting. And then, you know, we all know who obviously won. Thrag is literally the strongest. There's no one stronger than Thrag other than like Emperor Mark, which, yeah, I guess that's spoilers if you guys never watched the show or never read the comics or saw a video about it. I'm gonna be real here, bro. These comics have been out for so long. The only reason the show is getting or why Invincible is getting popularity is because it's on Amazon and it's animated. But it's also a good show, if I'm being honest. Oh, I remember that wasn't his guts coming out or something. His guts weren't coming out? Wait, what? But yeah, I can't wait to see that. Obviously, Dinosaurus is in the new season. Can't wait to see Dinosaurus. What else? What else do we got? Oh, that new shit with a Dark Blood. I'm really interested in that. Because apparently that whole shit with Dark Blood is like it's not in the comics. So it's like brand new, fresh shit. So I really want to see what they're cooking with that. Or Battle Beast's guts coming out after they fed Nolan or during the battle against Dirac. Fed Nolan? What do you mean? Nolan wasn't there. Olin wasn't there during that fight. I remember Thrag fucking started wearing it fucking Battle Beast as a drip, which is kind of crazy because Battle Beast is literally one of the strongest characters in Invincible, and he's just wearing him like a fucking coat. I might win, you're getting distracted. Oh, I'm talking about Invincible. I don't really give a fuck. I love Invincible. I can yab about Invincible all day, every day. What the fuck? How the fuck I do that? I double clicked right there. In there. That shit's so tight. But I can't do that. What's something else I could talk about all day? I could talk about Resident Evil 9 all day. I fucking love Resident Evil 9. Oh my god. Bro, like I don't give a fuck if that shit didn't perform good, bro. Resident Evil 9 was so fun. Definitely one of my... They're up there like one of the best games I've ever played. And yeah, it was just amazing, bro. I have like little to like no complaints about Resident Evil 9. Oh, that's as far as I've ever gotten. Well, yeah, in a way, yeah, he was disrespecting and respecting him by wearing him because that's obviously Thrag's like... That's Thrag's hardest battle. Even Thrag admitted it. He was like, dude, that was really hard. Which is fucking crazy. The multiverse arc? What multiverse arc? You talking about when Mark goes back in time? If you're talking about that part, I'm gonna be honest with you. That might be like my least favorite part of the whole comic. And I really hope that they do something else. Cause I don't know, like I just feel like it's a bit of lazy writing. The variant arc or whatever it's called. Oh, you're talking about the other marks? I don't think it was a rush. Cause they introduced Anstrom Levy. The variants didn't come till like season 3. And Angstrom Levy was introduced in season 2. I don't think it was really that rush. And also, those variants didn't pop up until like the end of season 3. And then you get back to back. You got Mark dealing with the fucking variants of himself. And then you have Conquest come in right after that. Which is kind of how it takes place in the comics. Like, that's literally it. The time travel stuff was dog shit. That's what I don't like. I really don't like that. If I'm being completely honest. I think that time travel, him going back and then he comes back and 5 years have passed. I'm gonna be honest, I don't fuck with that. I think it's a bit lazy. And then you have Adam Eve cheat on Mark and shit. Like, I understand it. But I hope they don't do it. I hope they do something else instead of that.
Why are you always smoking my vape? I want to know.
No one.
You need to smell all my stuff now.
Can't wait to see Mark and Thrag duke it out. Yeah, I can't wait to see that too. Like on the Sun, bro. Low key, I could see Eve being a cheater.
Facts.
Well, like, bro, like
Facts.
5 years, bro. That's what I'm saying. Like that shit was, I don't know. Out of everything in Invincible, that part is like kind of. I feel like it was just so lazy. I genuinely don't. I don't know. I hope they don't do it in the show. I hope they do something else instead. But
Oh, fuck. My dog was on you. It's okay. You should worry about you cheating.
but yeah, I hope they do something else on the show. If they do it, I guess. Fuck it, I guess. They better make it good. Cause I don't know. I just feel like it's just a bit lazy, and they just did it for like the time skip. Like, oh my god, it's been 5 years, and now, oh wait, your daughter is now 5 years old, and she doesn't even know who her father is.
Whoa, 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 whoa. No.
Only reason I know this shit is because I got into Invincible a while back. Who's your favorite variant?
No. Chill, man. Cover my pants with my dog piss.
I like Viltrumite Mark. I think Viltrumite Mark is kind of cool with like the mustache and shit. Not the prison one though. Mine's gotta be prison. I don't like the prison one.
Hey.
He just looks mad weird. I like the Viltrumite one. He's got the whole Viltrumite suit with the mustache and shit. I think that's pretty cold. But then he dies to Tech Jacket. Oh.
Bye. See you later. Bye. Bye.
Prisoner Martin looks like Deadpool face with the Viltrumite outfit.
Ow.
Yeah. Stop it.
Why'd you do
Stop
that?
it. Stop it.
You just hurt me.
Don't make me hit you in the balls. You disgust me.
When you do it, it's okay.
Bro, I just... Can I pet the dog, bro? This motherfucker just licked the water off his balls.
Ew, don't drink the same water.
He didn't put this one
It
in his
doesn't
ball?
matter. It's still weird at this point. Just let it go. And you go back for seconds. You're disgusting. That's gross.
I ain't clean the
Why are
floor.
you smiling so much?
What are you talking
Why are
about?
you smiling so much?
Chad, this motherfucker just drank ball water, bro.
I was gonna go to the store and get you a pack, but they were closed.
Who?
Hey, this man.
Oh, you
I
heard
didn't
me.
get a hello. Nothing.
Yeah, you did.
Oh, I did.
Yeah, you did.
You know what? Fine.
Got you smile like that? No one. I don't smile, I'm depressed. Yeah? Dick up in your stomach.
Dick all in your stomach.
Alright, I'm heading out. Yeah, I think I'm gonna stop. I was streaming for 3 hours and I'm not really enjoying this level.
Oh, we can play Roblox with you or something.
Oh, the mechanics come in like 12 or 1. Okay. Alright, chat, so, what the fuck is this? Well, yeah, chat. Yeah. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I might upload the video tomorrow. I'm not sure. The video is pretty cut up, but yeah. I'm gonna fuck with you guys though.